It's that time again. Time to be quiet.
Because A Quiet Place Part 2 has finally come out in theaters. It was shelved due to COVID, and now they finally were able to let it drop. And man, has the wait been worth it. Once again, Emily Blunt and John Krasinski knock it out of the park as two very, very strong individuals, but in different ways. Now, Krasinski, of course, has to show up in a flashback for reasons, but the real carrier of the show was, for one half, Emily Blunt, who once again proves that a mother protecting her young is the most dangerous creature on the planet. Meanwhile, the actress playing her deaf daughter, that's deaf as in hard of hearing, shows a grit and determination of a person much older than her. Add into that a very somber, very broken Cillian Murphy as a friend of the family and stand-in for Krasinski's character for the bulk of the film. And you got a pretty decent cast. As for the monsters, both human and alien, the human monsters only show up in one sequence, but it was very, very tense. I mean, you started shaking for our heroes. As for the alien monsters, they have never looked better. I mean, they still look freaky and like Slender Man's pet. And even though we know what their weakness is now, as found out in the first film, it's still very unnerving to watch them stalk our heroes. Overall, A Quiet Place Part 2 moves along at a decent clip. It starts with a flashback and ends with a pretty decent ending. I'm not going to spoil whether or not it's happy or sad, but rest assured, if they do a third film, it'll have to be far more action-oriented, because the ending kind of points out a potential final installment. But if this is the end of the Quiet Place franchise, then it's ending on a pretty high note. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you,
shh, the monsters come out at night.